your own voice live from within. I'm on my own today, guys, and I'm still crying out to everyone out there to pray for Carol Ann. She's still in a hospital, and each and every day she's taking each step, one baby step at a time. So she's really recovering well. We're just hearing that she's slowly recovering really well. And it's baby step, as I've said. And we're just praying that God will enter her life and just change her story, rewrite her story. And your prayers will be much appreciated. And I know that Carol Anna has has audience, people that look up to her, and please continue looking up to her, and it will give her strength to actually heal. And when she'll be back, we can't think about that so far. Her health comes first. So we need to make sure that she's healthy and her well-being, she's well rested. And so our topic today is all about the relationship. So today we're talking about how to create, enjoy, and sustain a successful relationship. So welcome to Ngozi Talk Show's family. And in this video, in this compelling video, I'm going to bring you the valuable insight on the topic how to create, enjoy, and sustain a successful relationship. And it's very, very important to prepare yourself to unlock and to enjoy and sustain that successful relationship. If you are somebody who is entering a relationship, building a thriving in a relationship, as we dive into the profound concept of love unveiled. Love is beautiful, guys. But in building a successful relationship, it means that we have to understand the art that requires the finest thing of understanding what love is about, what relationship is, the tools that comes with it. We have to understand how we can master that relationship. So in order to understand it, first, we need to understand the foundation of a strong relationship. What does it mean when somebody talks about the foundation of a relationship? What does it mean when somebody talks about effective communication and the key to connection? Connection is the critical component of how a relationship is able to move forward. Once that connection is broken, the relationship will no longer move forward. It will stay in stagnance, where there will be quarrel, where there will be misunderstanding. And also we need to understand the nurturing emotional intimacy. How do we enter, or how do we nurture that? And the art of conflict and resolution. In a relationship, there will be conflict, but we need to understand how to resolve that conflict, fostering mutual respect and togetherness. Keep romance alive and build a fulfilling sexual connection. Overcoming challenges, adversities together. Creating shared goals and dreams is very, very important in a relationship. Family matters, and navigating relationship with in-laws and children. Those who have children, they will know how hard it is. In-laws, most of the relationship, I saw it on BBC, 80% of relationship are being destroyed because of in-laws. So we're going to talk about that. And the reason why the relationship are being destroyed because of in-laws is because when somebody, let's say a man enters a girl's life, a woman's life, if the mother-in-law or the father-in-law or the siblings of that man don't like the man or the woman that he is dating, the relationship will be destroyed. But there is a way of not relationship for people not liking you, not to let them destroy a relationship, but there is a way. Or sometimes it could be a woman it brings, well, it could be a man it brings a woman into his life, introduced to the family. They simply reject that woman because they don't like the woman. So those things can be sorted out. So we will talk about that, how to deal with it, the role of friendship in your relationship, growing together personally, developing relationship, and long-term, the foundation of long-term and lifelong love commitment. So all this thing is all come together. That you have to understand how it works in order to be able to actually move forward with it when it comes to relationship, building a lasting, long relationship. It requires you to actually have a study house. It requires a solid foundation. It requires careful planning. It requires an ongoing maintenance. It requires you to understand your dreams, to understand the principles, the foundation principles that can equip you in that to create a relationship that can stay when the relationship is being tested. Because when you date somebody, you meet them, you have to understand that the relationship will be tested somehow, once some time. So you got to be prepared for that. But I'm not saying you have to scare yourself and say, I'm going to get scared because my relationship will be tested. It happens natural. Relationship or sometimes the work takes over and then your relationship is tested. Or sometimes some things happen. So you have to learn to balance. If you ask anybody, even relationship coaches like myself, my relationship has been tested. So everybody's relationship has been tested. Those who haven't had their relationship tested, that means they're perfect. But that perfection in this world, it does not exist. So that is very, very important, guys, to actually navigate, to learn how to have the skills to communicate in a relationship. Having the skills of communicating in a relationship, it means active listening. We have to listen to the other person, whatever they are saying, by truly, truly understanding their thoughts. Tony Robbins talks about entering somebody's world. To me, I see it as entering the spirit, with somebody's spirit world. Because when two people are merged together, these are spirit. We have to understand how the physical and the spiritual world works. So we talk about body, soul, and spirit. So when somebody dies, their body gets bones on earth, and then their spirit goes to hell or it goes to heaven. So it's like that with sex. It's like that with a relationship. When you enter a relationship with somebody, two energies are they merge together. These are two energies. So these two energies, once they are linked together, once they're like, okay, we connect now, we're connected now. So when these two energies are linked together, now these energies have to find a way to become one. Once they find a way to become one, they then have to, their world has to align together. That's why Tony Robbins talks about the world, understanding somebody's world. So when these two energies are now linked together, that means these two linked enemies, they've got to agree with each other. You see, the energy is like the universe, it's the galaxy. The energy, it goes everywhere. So if this energy wants to do something and this one, it does not agree with something, and then that means that there's going to be a conflict. That means that the relationship is going to be frustrated. There's not going to be happiness. But if this energy they linked together now, they want to come to an agreement. They want to surrender to each other and understand each other's needs. Then that means the relationship is forged, the foundation is forged. And then that means that the other person is able to get to know this person, and they're willing really to surrender to serve each other. When we talk about the queen, when the queen and the king, they enter the kingdom, they have to surrender to each other. The queen has to understand how to serve the country, or if the queen is serving the country, has to understand, how can I serve the country? The queen does not make up she does not make up her own rules. So she has to understand how the country, like United Kingdom, how they can serve United Kingdom. We've got King Charles, Camilla. That's a relationship is like that. So the queen now have to surrender to her king and ask her king, how can I serve you? Now these energies, they're linked together now. They have to surrender to each other now, ask each other, how can I serve you? And then the king is now have to communicate his needs. Okay, my queen, this is how I like to be served. The king communicates how he likes his food, how the king communicates how he likes his food, his routine, how he likes to get up in the morning and be spontaneous, or be like some people, they like things in order. Or maybe he likes in order, he likes to do this, he likes to do that. He communicates to his queen, but then he lets his queen know how the queen can serve him. You can serve me, honey, by when you get up in the morning, if I'm still in bed, I love my cup of tea, or I love my coffee. Would you mind to make me a coffee? If I get up in the morning, would you like one as well? I love to help to serve you with a hot chocolate or coffee. That's the queen asking his king, that his king communicating his needs. And then that's the king listening to his queen. He doesn't, if the king just say, you know what, I'm not going to listen to this person. I just want to have sex with them. I just want a normal relationship. I would just want them to cook for me, or we cook for each other, and that's it. So you see now the two worlds are clash. They're going to clash. So the two worlds have to understand each other. Now the king understand now the queen understand how the king wants to be saved. Now the queen has to communicate her needs. Honey, this is my needs, my desires. This is how I like my day to begin. Like myself, my day begins with prayer. I don't go on social media without my prayer. First thing, I have to go and pray. First, I get up in the morning, I pray. Once I pray, then I go on social media, like people's post, or post something on social media. And after that, I just have to, I don't read in the morning. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't have time to read. Like if I'm studying, I will just do my studies. Or sometimes some people, you get up at 4 a.m. I used to get up at 4 a.m., but I seem to be going to bed very late. So sometimes I have 4 hours sleep or 5 hours sleep. It depends. So once the queen tells the king how she likes to be treated, and then the king has to And then both these energies, they have to become one, understand each other, they listen to each other. Once they listen to each other, and then they open a dialogue of understanding each other and be honest, encourage open conversation with your spouse, and be transparent, build trust. So, and then there's a non-verbal communication is not limited to words, where you can pay attention to verbal, such body language, tone or voice, or facial expression. This can reveal a lot about your partner's emotions, how they feel about you. And also we have emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, manage your emotions, and as well as your spouse. And emotional intelligence, it plays a critical component in building emotional intimacy. And also building an emotional intimacy, it means you have to be aware. Self-awareness it serves as developing self-awareness and understanding your own emotions. What triggers the emotions when you get upset, and the reactions, and also communication. It helps you to actually communicate your feelings more effectively. When you communicate empathy involves what does empathy involves in love? Putting yourself in your partnerships. And understanding their perspective. It helps you respond with sensitivity and compassion. It strengthens your emotional bond as well with your spouse. And then we have emotional regulation. Emotional regulation is learn to manage your emotions. You have to learn to manage your emotions, avoid reacting impulsively in the heart of the moment. Instead, you can choose how you respond to every situation. And then understand the power of resolution. Whenever your spouse communicates with you, you have to learn how to respond. Sometimes they might communicate with you, maybe they are angry, or maybe they are feeling in some way. So you have to be able to be aware of your spouse when they go out, they're up there, and you want them to come this side, and they're communicating. So you have to be aware. So it's very, very, very important to understand your spouse, to actually learn more about them, and also communicate your feelings as well is very, very important. And also compatibility and shared values. Are you compatible with your spouse? Is very, very important in a relationship. With having shared values, goals is very essential for a long-term harmony. When it comes to relationship, it's very, very important that you date somebody that you share values with. Common interests and goals is very, very important. Identify your common interest in a long-term goals with your partner. Shared passion and aspiration can create a sense of purpose and togetherness. When we say common interests and goals, this is where when you meet a man, and a man is looking for a relationship, if you want to know the common interest and goals, it's where you ask a man, where does he see himself in 5 years when you're communicating before the dating. If a man loves himself too much, and he's looking for a relationship, but his 5-year goals or 1-year goals does not involve any dating or going on holidays with his spouse or whoever he meets, because that he has to represent that person. So you have to run from the beginning. So it's very, very important to understand, because a man is an architect in a relationship. A man has to have goals for his spouse. The reason why we say a man has to have goals for his spouse, even if a woman is very educated and they earn good money, a man still needs to be a man in a relationship. A man still needs to have a vision. Where there is no vision, there is no foundation of a relationship. So a man has to have a vision for his family, how he intended to look after his family. Even if a man dates a woman with a lot of money, the man hasn't got money, he still needs to have a vision. The reason why a man still needs to have a vision, a man is created to carry the family. A man is created to be a teacher in his family. He has to have a vision. Even though the woman has money, he hasn't, but the vision has to. What does he have for vision for his woman? And then build that life based on both. His vision has to align with his woman. The woman has to have a vision for their relationship as well. Then they link, they align. A man and a woman, they linked their vision together so that they can be, their relationship can be who they want it to be. So in that way is very, very important. So if you're building a foundation of a relationship to live a fulfilling life, we need to make sure that a man has the vision. We need to make sure that a woman is ready to mentor his man. You don't talk as a woman, you don't talk your man out of his dreams. You don't tell men that, you know what, I can pay my own way. When it comes to relationship, when you enter a relationship, there is no I can pay my own way. The relationships are linked together. So you both have to find ways to live as a partnership, to build a partnership, not to separate that partnership. To say a woman is very educated, they can pay their way, a man can pay his way. You've got to find ways how to live as a family. Every family is different and every ways is different. So as a man, you don't go and listen to your friends, or woman listen to there is no vision, there is no fun. Okay. That was my phone. So as a man, you don't go and listen to your friends and they tell you how they run their relationship, and then you start like running your relationship, wanting your relationship to become like your friend's relationship. No, we don't do that. It's very, very important that we understand our values, our beliefs. Every relationship is different. When I say that a man is an architect, a woman she's a mentor. Every relationship is going to be different. Those are the roles that are really not made up roles. Even you can go and check them in the Bible. A man has to be a man. He has to have a vision for his family. So in conclusion for that, the principles, you just, as a man and a woman in your relationship, you have to lay down in the groundwork for a deep and lasting connection with your partner. So in order to do that, you have to learn to build a foundation that is based on both of you, not other people. And we talk about I mentioned about the communication. So when we talk about communication, I mentioned about body language, and also understanding a strong relationship. I mentioned about the trust, building trust, and security in your relationship is very, very important. And consistently reliability is very, very important. And keep promises. Only make promises you can keep. And men, you don't go and promise a woman something that you cannot fulfill. Women, they don't write things down. So if you want your relationship to work, you don't say, I will do this for you, I will do this for you, and knowing that you're making promises that you cannot fulfill. So you have to fulfill those promises. And fulfilling those promises, it means when you fulfill the promises, when you say to a woman, one day we're gonna get married. So you have to get married, marry her. If you promise her that you're gonna marry her, marry her. If you promise that you're gonna go on a holiday, take her on that holiday, because she will hold you accountable for not fulfilling those promises. So if you promise a woman something, they're not going to write it down, but our mind, we're very, very clever. Women are very, very smart and very, very, very clever. We don't need to write things down, but we can remember every detail. If you ask a woman now what happened when they met their spouse, they will tell you every detail from the day one to the 20 years of their marriage, or 10 years or 5 years of their relationship. Every detail. It's not written down, but it's in their subconscious mind. So we do not make promises that we cannot keep when it comes to relationship. We make promises because we can keep, but then if promises are changed because of work, maybe marriage is changed, and that then your spouse will understand. Consistent behavior, strive to actually to change, take action to your relationship. Make your spouse feel safe and feel understood. Creating boundaries and respect is very, very important to have boundaries in a relationship. Very, very important. Respect each other, set boundaries, and be clear. When you're setting them, be clear. What you can tolerate, what you can't. When you set boundaries, it shows me that when I enter your relationship, this is how you want me to treat you. Respect personal space. It's very, very important to actually create like principles. They have principles in place. Principles, they work well with boundaries as well. So once you set your principles in place, that means you are clear of how you want to be treated in that relationship, and also the things that you can tolerate in a relationship. And the other one is forgiveness. We have to learn to forgive in a relationship. Mistakes happen in every relationship. Forgiveness is acceptance. Forgiveness is acceptance is the critical component of how you are able to build trust in a relationship. Apologize, sincerely mean it when you make mistakes, and also forgive and let it go. Really, really let it go when you forgive. So when we forgive others, it doesn't mean that it's okay for them to treat us the way they've treated us, but we forgive because we let it go, because we want our relationship to work. So it's very, very important. And for a relationship to work, where there is no forgiveness, there is no foundation. So make sure that you also have shared dreams. Share dreams, discuss how you can support each other in achieving those dreams. A woman is a mentor, a man is an architect. Long-term vision. Talk about long-term vision for the relationship and how you see yourself growing together. It's very, very important. And also take away the expectations, unrealistic expectations. There are some people in a relationship that they have unrealistic expectations, that they expect their spouse to be, but they themselves, they are not. So make sure that the expectations in a relationship, they're not extremely. So, and also when we talk about goals, a man is an architect, a woman, she's a mentor. So a woman, her job is to mentor her man, become who he is meant to become. That's why you see every successful man has a good woman behind him. It's either is a mother that is mentoring that man, or it's either is a friend that is mentoring that man, or it's either is wife or spouse that is in nurturing, that is actually mentoring that man. Many can easily go off when they succeed without a woman. They can easily, it's very easy to get off the path. So they need a woman to bring them back, to actually sustain them. It doesn't have to necessarily have an intimacy woman. It could be family members, or it could be just a coach. So it's very, very, very important to actually make sure that you have shared goals and stuff. So it's very, very, very important. And also emotional support. I mentioned the vision before, emotional support, to make sure that you support each other. When a man meets a woman for the first time, a man tells a story of why he's single. So when these two people are merging together, so I'm trying to make you guys understand how you can support each other, emotional support. So when a man meets a woman, they meet each other, they tell a story. Why are you single? And the man has to tell a story that, you know what, I'm single because I have not met the right woman in my life. But if I do meet that woman in my life, I'll be the happiest man on earth. And the woman is like, wow, I relate to you. So that, and then the woman related to the story of a man. And then she's like, same here, you know, I've not met the right man in my life, but if I do meet the one, I'll be very, very happy to invest my time in that relationship and really get to know that person, and maybe one day and get married. So these people, they start sharing stories, they start relating to each other, they start sympathizing with each other, the connection is forged. That's how the connection in a relationship is forged. Once that connection is been torn apart, that means that the relationship needs to be rebuilt, repaired, or repaired. Because now, when these two people, they sympathize with each other, they're like, oh yeah, yes, I know what you mean. And then they start communicating, and the next thing, before you know it, this one goes home, they go home and they're like, I like that girl. And the woman goes, I like him, he's different from the men that I've dated. And the man goes, himself, she's different. And then the next thing, they want to date. They want to get to know each other, and they want to get to know each other, and they want to actually they want to go exclusive. because of the connection, because of these two worlds that have related to each other, they've sympathized with each other. And then once they get to know each other, then the relationship is forged. And then they want to marry each other. The next thing they want to get married. I found the one. You get excited. But then a conflict comes. You don't know how to deal with them. The relationship will be turned apart. If you don't have the skills of a relationship, the relationship will be turned apart. So it's very, very important to understand the power of forgiveness. Very, very important to forgive each other. When somebody takes you to a restaurant that you don't like, instead of getting angry or upset, forgive. People get angry with each other for different reasons. I remember we are talking about different relationships. Validate feelings. If you don't fully understand the feelings, validate them. Let them know that their feelings are important and they are valid. And you're willing to actually do whatever it takes to make sure that you're both going to a deeper, meaningful connection with your partner. Emotionally, intimacy is the heart of a strong foundation in a relationship. Allowing both each other to understand, support each other, and cherish every moment at a profound level, wherever you communicate. Emotionally, intimacy is the strong foundation of a relationship. So it's very, very important to make sure that you both are on the same page. And once you're both on the same page and define boundaries, prioritize quality time, is very, very important to have some planned regular activities on days and allow you to connect and enjoy each other's company. And once you do that, enjoy each other's company, spend time together, be fully present and engage, putting aside the distractions of phone. I've seen people going on dates, restaurant. You find that people leave home. They're saying we're going for a meal. Okay, they're going to pay for that meal. And it's not cheap to go to a restaurant to sit and have starters, have main course, have pudding. It's not cheap. It's very expensive. But they can't leave this baby at home. They have this baby with them. Smartphones. You find somebody, they are on their meal and they are texting other people. What is the point of going to a restaurant, spending £200 or £300 or £150? I'm saying because now average meal, just a meal on its own without expensive drinks or anything is like £150 or £200 or £300. What is the point of taking your smartphone if you're not going to spend time with each other? Because when you go in for a meal is a time where you both have to communicate with each other. You both have to find that intimacy, emotionally connecting conversation that it can connect you, both of you, and just have fun. So when do you get time? There's no point. I've seen people like when I'm passing through, they are out for a meal, but they're using mobile phones. Texting, the man is texting, the woman is texting, or they have their mobile phone, but they're out for a meal. What is the point? So have a boundaries. No mobile phones. If you're watching, guys, and your spouse, they take mobile phone. I have a principle myself that whenever a client wants to contact me, if I'm at home, if I'm out with my family, they can wait. Because the fact that they are contacting me, unless if they are out on a date, is an emergency, I can take the phone, because that means one of them might be in trouble. But as long as they are not out on a date, if they contact me, they can wait. Even if I have my phone, I don't need to answer my phone. So it's very, very important to make sure that we get rid of this smartphone. They are not cheap. They are very, very expensive, but they are costing us everything. They are costing us our marriages. They are costing us everything. You name it, they bond with our children, everything. So I think for me, I'm lucky with my children. My youngest daughter, she is somebody who demands quality time. If you don't give her quality time, she demands it. She'll be like, I want to spend time with my dad, or I want to spend time with my mom. And you cannot bribe her and say, I'll give you this if you leave me alone. No, you can't. If she wants to spend time, she wants to spend time with you. So you got to give her that attention, that time, which is good. So I think I agree with her in that way, that you have to spend time with each other. So it's very, very important. And so you can communicate and also support each other. It's very, very important when you support each other in a relationship, encourage each other's individual interest and passion. Respect individuals' hobbies. My spouse likes skydiving. I'm bit scared, but I think next time he goes, I will try it. He loves it. And he just loves creepy things. And so sometimes it's nice for him to have his own hobbies. So it's very, very important, and to give that person freedom to pursue their hobbies and just be enthusiastic about it, and then show genuine interest and support for your spouse and passion. And sometimes their dad, when he comes here, he talks about games. I haven't got a clue what he's talking about, but I just have to listen. He gets excited about games, like tells me the character. I'm like, okay, I just have to listen. And I'm like, okay, that is scary. And sometimes I ask questions if there's something that I don't understand, or if I don't even know what he's talking about. I just have to ask questions. And once I ask questions and I come to an understanding, it's simply because it's that person loves what they talk about. So if they love what they talk about, might as well show interest and support them in that way. So it's very, very important in building a strong a relationship. Reassure your commitment into that relationship. Express love and commitment. And when you do that, that helps with the commitment to your spouse as well. And discuss the future together. And it's very, very important. And when somebody discuss future together, and don't tell them maybe like their dreams, like for me with my ex, my relationship, I used to tell him about my dreams, and my dreams meant so much to me. But he will say, Nomsa, you're living in dreams. There's no such thing where you can actually do that. But what he didn't realize, because it was my dreams, it's something that I dream of. And I don't just talk about something. I talk about something and I do it. Sometimes I don't even tell people, honestly, guys, with my decisions, because I'm scared of scaring people. If I tell people what I'm going to do, they get scared for me, because they're like, I don't think you can do that. They will tell me 20 reasons why, who did it, who tried to do it, and who failed. So now I just prefer to do something and then I come and tell my family. It's very, very important when I understand about, when you come to a point where you understand more about the universe, how the universe works, how the spirit world works, how the physical world works, then you'll be able to go for anything that you want in life. So when I say that to my family, they get scared. Like, okay, yeah. So it's very, very important to listen to your spouse, whatever their dreams that they tell you they want to share with you, listen to them. And once you listen to them and support them, mentor them, and in that way, like my dreams is to create Ngozi talk shows and become a university one day. And by doing that, it means there are some qualifications that I need to obtain. There are some researches that I need to take. There are some things that I need to understand, communicate with other students, understand how this world works, what the actually the gap within the universities, where universities go wrong and stuff. But in order for me to do that, I need to be able to do the things that I've just mentioned. But if I was to mention to somebody, to my spouse, they will look at me and say, you want to turn your talk show into the university? Yes, I want to one day. And where people can learn the skills. I don't remember the things that I've learned when I was at primary school, secondary school, I don't remember. But I remember taking my degree in psychology. When you study psychology, it's all about learning more about yourself and understanding how the world works. So those are the things that I remember. I don't remember anything else. Psychology is very fascinating. It's a very, very fascinating subject. So I remember that, and that's why I just want to do more and just learn more. But if I was to tell somebody, they'll just look at me and say, I don't think so. But that's the truth. That's who I want to become one day. So it's very, very important to understand your spouse. They listen to their dreams, what they really desire in life, and just let them fulfill that. It's very, very important to just trust and have principles in place. I've learned that the hard way. My family have taught me all these things that when I talk to them, they don't even listen. Or my spouse, they're like, no, sir. But now they listen because they know that everything that I do, I actually make sure that every decision that I take or the things that I talk about is they know that it happens in reality. You have to make a decision and you have to take things, you have to do things, you have to take action because no one will. So it is very, very, very important to listen to your spouse, and flexibility and compromise is don't compromise too much of your life, but you can compromise a little bit, willing to compromise when it's necessary, adapt to changing needs. Recognize that your needs and your needs for independence or togetherness may change over time. Be adaptable, is be okay with it. Seek compromise when conflict arises, because they will, regarding the balance between independence and togetherness. And make sure that you work on that. And once you work on that, keep romance alive. How do we keep romance alive? We have to avoid this thing of, number one, physically romance. It's a long-term connection emotionally. prioritize quality time, and behave like spouse each other. When your spouse go to work, when they come back, welcome them with open arms. If they're tired, you just give them a kiss. Not that sloppy kiss that says, okay, we've been together, we've been together and we are in a relationship, so we're just gonna give each other a sloppy kiss and then we say we love each other. Just take time with each other. If you can, if you love your spouse, take time. And also unforgiveness is the one that takes people out of love. If there is too much unforgiveness in a relationship, and people will fall out of love. So make sure that you prioritize and express your affection, express your love. Physical touch, verbally affirmation. Tell how much you adore, you love and adore them. When they're wearing nice clothes, admire them. Surprise them. Plan. Getaways, try new things. Keep the intimacy alive. It's very, very, very important. Not too much sex though. Not too much sex. I'm not saying you have sex 7 days a week. I'm not saying that. Just have sex, you know, your every relationship is different. Like myself, I prefer to spend time with God rather than have sex 7 days a week. Because the more I have sex, the more the devil wants to take over my life. So I still need to go to the battleground with the enemy and fight the enemy. So there are some times where I might not be available for sex. Like if I'm fasting, that means I'm not available for sex. So my life is a battleground. And my spouse's life is a battleground. It's always a battleground with the enemy. So you just have to be prepared to maintain that relationship. And that is another story for another time. Create rituals. When we say create rituals, it means special occasions, daily habit, communicate openly. So what are your rituals? For me, I do different things, not creepy ones though. There are some creepy ones where they end up being an idol, so we don't want to do that. Such maybe, when I say daily habit, maybe morning coffee, I've mentioned that to create a sense of togetherness. Anniversaries, milestones, special occasions with the meaningful rituals. Discuss your expectations. What do you expect? It's nice to be open in a relationship and listen actively when your spouse communicates. Keep the element of surprise. I don't like surprises myself, actually. Really, really don't like surprises. If you do something, there are some surprises that they get me excited, but there's one thing that I love is spending time with my family. If you surprise me with a getaway where I can spend time with my family and just have fun and not having to go to Ngozi talk shows, that is a surprise that I will not forget all my life. So I love those kind of things where somebody just surprise me. Is beautiful. So you can plan the surprises for your spouse and just arrange everything and surprise them. And also, as mentioned, discuss expectations, keep element, surprises, revisit relationship goals to actually see if you both are still on the same page, or if there's anything, dream together. Discuss your future as a couple and set new goals. towards together. Set your goals and work on bringing your dreams to life. Rekindle share dreams is very, very important. Share dreams and don't give up. Yesterday, I was talking about dreams, how to follow your dreams without giving up or without being discouraged. Is very, very important. You know, in a relationship, sometimes you can get discouraged very easy. So it's very, very important. And also the expectations that they do destroy a relationship where you find somebody is expecting somebody to be something that they cannot be. For me, I don't have expectations with anybody. I have expectations with God. The only thing I have expectations in relationship is principles, boundaries, values, beliefs. I expect that person to respect my beliefs, to respect my values, and also our values to be linked, to align together. That is very, very important. But when it comes to identity, image, personality, I love the person that I date to keep that alive. I don't want anybody to change for me. I do not want that because I will not change for no one. I wouldn't change my image for anybody. I wouldn't change my personality for anyone. I'm somebody who I'm quiet. I'm shy, but when I meet people, I talk. I talk to people. I love getting to know people. And there are times where I just like to give myself to myself. So it's very, very important to actually let people be. When these people, when the person they are creating to building a relationship is to date somebody who is happy within themselves, it's very, very important. When you let somebody be, that means it helps in a relationship instead of wanting to control or wanting to actually change the other person. I don't want to change anyone. So it's very, very important to make sure that our spouse, they are living the life of their dreams, who they want to become, who they want to be, not in a selfish way. Build a fulfilling sexual connection, intimacy by strengthening emotions, bond between partners. Don't just have sex for the sake of the sex. Some people, they'll tell you, I have sex 5 days a week with my spouse. But that sex has no meaning. The sex has to have the connection between the two. It means truly, 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 truly not to have sex to release stress. We have sex because we love each other and we want to enjoy every moment of it. That's why that's how relationship needs to be. No point in having sex 7 days a week if it is meaningless. There is a meaningless sex, there is a connection. A connection sex, which is actually when somebody has a sex, they have a connection, they are connecting with each other, feeling every moment of it. So that is what we call it sex. Whether you have it once a week or twice a week or 3 times a week, if you are having a connection sex, is better than somebody who is not having sex with connection. So it is very, very important. And also prioritize the intimacy. I've mentioned create a romantic atmosphere, explore each other's bodies. Before somebody explore your body, you have to know your body yourself and experiment, explore new experiences, learn about the body's preferences and stuff. All that comes with the sex, with a relationship. Ask feedback, encourage your spouse to actually communicate openly it helps with emotional connections, trust and respect each other, build a trust, keep surprising each other spontaneously. I've mentioned that. So make sure that when you're in a relationship, make sure and also learn to overcome obstacles. Is very, very important when you learn to actually learn the steps, share your concerns, listen actively, team and support each other, teamwork and support each other, collaborate. Emotional support is very important. If counseling is needed, go for counseling. Learn and grow together is very, very important with each other. And what else I did not cover? What else? What else I didn't cover? Identify common interest. I covered that. Values. I covered that. Creating a plan. I covered that. And also, what else didn't I cover? I think I covered everything actually. Seek professional help if it's needed. Quality time with children. My children, I've got 2 kids. My children, they demand quality time they need it. So make sure that you are there for the kids and listen to them. When they talk or when they want to communicate something. My daughter, she's 16, she's very, very clever. When we talk, she always say, oh, my daddy would let me get away with things, but she knows I'll never let her get away with things. So communicate with the children properly, make sure that they know their boundaries and stick to your boundaries as well, but treat them like normal, like you would like to be treated. So it's very, very, very important. And what else did I cover? What else? I think I've covered almost everything. If I think of anything, and don't forget to be playful like children, please. When you enter a relationship, it does not mean that everything has to be serious. No. Just try to be playful. Just play with each other. Have fun. Have fun with the kids. Don't be too serious. I don't do seriousness. I love to see people having fun. We bring out that inner child, and just be playful. Celebrate each other's success. Don't get angry. Sometimes men get angry. They don't like it to be when a woman is successful. Men don't like it. But I'm afraid in this world where we are, women, we are taking over. Okay? So we're not taking over, but we recognize that we have to succeed in life and we want to reach our goals. So we're not just competing. We're not competing. I wouldn't compete with my spouse anyway. I wouldn't want to do that. I'm not that kind of a person that wants to compete, or I just want to provide. I'm a provider. So he provides, I provide. So I wouldn't want to compete with my spouse because I want them to feel special. So allow your spouse, if a woman succeed, allow them to succeed even more so they can bring change to lives and children. It just bring a better life, and not to. I've seen mostly people that, like, sometimes on YouTube they say, oh, I've split up with my spouse because when I was like this they were okay, but then when I started succeeding they're not okay with it. So to me, I'm okay when somebody succeeds. So just be okay with each other. So I think I'm gonna have to leave it here, guys. And also to conclude all this, Relationship requires skills. Learn the skills, read books. But when you read books, when you watch the video, like today's video, create your own based on your spouse. Know your spouse very, very well, and also pray for your marriage. If you are a woman who is, pray for your marriage, and a man, pray for your marriage as well. We live in this world where there's so much going on, and so make sure that you pray for your relationship. It's very, very important. Now, relationship, I listened to Dr. Olukoya, my father in the Lord, his Siemens, last Wednesday, yeah, he was talking about this world where there's so many energy that has been released to destroy people's destinies and marriages. So that means we have a battle that we have to fight. So pray for your marriages and pray for your families as well. And God bless you. If you are single and looking for love, you can go to my website and find send out the application form, or if you want to find your own voice, and please get in touch as well. God bless and live with grace.